If you've built AI agents in Claude Code to run real parts of your business, you already know how fragile they can be. The agent gets halfway through a long task and your laptop goes to sleep, the session drops, or it just crashes and you have no idea what it actually got done. So I've built a setup in Claude Code where agents can completely die mid-task and resume exactly where they left off. And today I'm going to show you how to build the exact same thing for your setup. So hopefully by the end of this video, you're going to have agents that you can trust to run completely unsupervised, agents that survive a crash without losing progress, and a recovery process that you can use on anything that you're already building. I'll show you exactly why most of these agents are breaking, the technique that makes them unkillable, and then we'll build the whole setup together step by step. So I think a really good place to start when it comes to the reliability of these long-running agents which are continuously researching or continuously working on tasks, which have the risk of them ending mid-run or breaking in some way or a server turning off, where all of that context and session history is really important to the run itself. But the process that I'll show you for this video will work for really anything outside of chat agents as well, whether it is just long-running workflow automation or just long-running agents that might not have a chat interface. But to make it super clear as to what I'm doing here, I've created a demo right here through Claude Code, which I'm able to send a research request off, and it is going to do deep research across this agent on the left-hand side and this agent right here on the right-hand side. And I'm going to demonstrate killing both of these agents mid-run and then trying to resume that conversation again to get it to continue to work on what it was doing and then complete that task. And so if I click run both right here, then we'll see both of these agents have now initiated and they have gotten started in their process of doing some research on this particular query that I sent through. Now the agent on the left-hand side is going through the Anthropic SDK. If you're not familiar with the Anthropic SDK or the OpenAI SDK, this is essentially an endpoint that we're going to be able to access the sort of Claude-like or the ChatGPT-like experience where it does a lot of tool calls with web search. As you can see right here, it does a lot of web search, reasons through multiple different sources. It's not just one API call for one response. It's sort of a multi-staged approach to give you the most in-depth answer, which is the experience that you get through ChatGPT or talking through Claude. And we're able to access that exact same thing through their SDK. So both of these agents right here are both running on the Anthropic SDK. And right now they're working on providing a research report about the history of the watch. And we can see here some of the findings, some of the tool results it's doing in order to research multiple different stages here. But if I go ahead and click kill right here and completely kill that agent, we'll hit kill right here as well. And these agents are both going to get completely killed in their search. So in reality, this could be due to many different things, whether your server crashes and just stops running where this agent is going. This could be an API outage through the Anthropic API goes down, or maybe a tool or function call fails mid-run. There really is an endless possibility of things that can go wrong, which would cause one of these agents to stop working on what it's doing, which if you are going to be doing quite a deep research would really suck if you had gone through, hours of research and then it just cut itself mid-run and then you have to run the whole thing again. So what we could do is hit resume. If I hit resume on this agent right here, we're going to see it is going to have to start all over again. But as opposed to this agent right here, if I click resume, what's going to happen is it is going to pick up exactly where it was from. We can see here some of the tool calls on the left-hand agent is just starting all of these brand new searches again, which are very similar to the searches it did at the start here. As opposed to this agent, which has already gotten started and it is continuing to look at some of the articles that it was looking at. We've still got all of that session history that it's building off of, and we have successfully been able to kill this agent and continue on from where it was, all without having to sort of inject new memory or do anything fancy like that. It literally just continued from exactly where it was. And our final answer has come from this agent on the right-hand side here. We've got our output result and it is no longer doing any research. You can see it's now said completed. But on the left-hand side, this agent is still going on, of course, because it has to go through everything all again to complete what it's looking for. And so finally, the left agent here is now completed and we got a full-on response. Not quite sure why this one formatted itself quite a lot nicer than this one, but this is just an issue with the actual app test demo thing that I've built here. But ultimately, I hope you now can get the point as to this agent's ability to continue on from a failure. Whereas this agent, your typical agent from an Anthropic SDK or an OpenAI SDK, which doesn't have any kind of memory or persistence built into it, will have to have a run done completely from scratch if you want to get the best result out of it as possible. Now, before I dive into exactly how I was able to build this application, as well as build the agent through the Anthropic SDK with no persistence, as well as one that was much more durable with memory persistence, I do just want to highlight the main thing that we actually are going to be using here in order to be able to build out this agent. So the main way that I was able to do this is by using Agent Span, and this is just an open source server and SDK, which ultimately helps us to store our executions outside of the process that we're currently running so that we can resume our agents much more cleanly. So their goal is just to build this platform to allow us to have much more durable agents, and that's exactly what I've used it for. You can see here a similar graphic to what I just demonstrated, where we had the old process which would get killed and then have to be completely restarted, as opposed to an agent that is connected through an agent span server at the same time, where it's going to be able to pick up exactly where it was and continue on that task. Once again, it's completely open source. If you want to check it out, I'll have it linked down below in the description. And to give you some more clarity as to what was actually happening in the background when these agents were going, I can go ahead and click this tab right here in my Visual Studio Code, and this right here is agent span. And so this user interface is being locally hosted as a separate server on my computer. So obviously these two agents right here are running locally on my computer, but if this connection were to drop off, we would still be able to access agent span, which is on a different server. Now, obviously in this case, both of them are locally hosted. So if I turned off my computer, it would not retain that. But in the real production environment, you would want to go ahead and publish this to, obviously a proper server, and you would also publish this to a separate server as well. And essentially what we're looking at here in agent span is that they've got this interface that allows us to look at all of the agents that we're running and all of the executions alongside those agents. So we can see here the last run with the durable researcher agent. That's what it created the agent name for. We could see that the status was completed. And if I go ahead and click into the execution ID, we can have a look at a bit more information as to what was going on behind the scenes for that run that we just did. We're even able to have a look at this agent execution tab right here to look at the entire process of everything that happened in order to do that research report. So because this is natively built into the Anthropic SDK, once again, it's been able to access everything that happened in that research process. So obviously hitting a lot of the Anthropic models, going through and doing multiple web searches, hitting the large language model again and doing multiple web searches again, and then providing that final report at the end. And so this store of information where all of the web searches have been done individually, all this other stuff has been stored as well with all the tool calls. This store of information on this server is what enables us to be able to then continue on this search if it crashes at any point. And so that is really one big part when it comes to agent span, obviously being able to store that information somewhere in which we can access from a different server to continue that conversation is incredibly helpful. And this is not just a database, because this is integrated into the code of the Anthropic SDK when it's running. We are just storing that much more information in a way that allows that conversation to continue on like nothing happened. Now, because agent span also allows us to retain all of that session history and pause the run as it's going, it also opens up the opportunity to do approvals. So let's say we wanted to do a bunch of research and that at some point we wanted to get human approval as to whether or not we should go down, one pathway or another pathway. Traditionally, that wouldn't be super easy to do through the Anthropic SDK, but because we are storing that history now, we're going to be able to get somebody to come in at any point, wait as long as we need to. We can have a look at the queue monitor right here. So this will just store this indefinitely. And then once approval has been given, it can change its directory and go down that path whilst still retaining the history that it needs in order to be able to do that. All right, so how do we actually set this system up? Well, I'm going to go through how I was able to set up this demo environment right here and create the Anthropic SDK agent as well as the Anthropic SDK agent, which has been wrapped with the agent span security. So ultimately, I went ahead and just gave it a big request right here, which you can read through if you'd like to. I personally use a speech to text tool on my computer to be able to just ask it to do what I want. So there might be some waffling in this text, but you can go ahead and read it. But ultimately, I told it to build out exactly what you're looking at. I told it to build out a chat agent using the Anthropic SDK, which is going to be capable of long-running deep research tasks. And then I also told it to create a secondary agent, which would be fully integrated into the agent span platform. And I told it that the goal was that agent span would enable us to be able to have persistent memory where the agent would continue to work even if it was crashed. And then at the bottom, I provided it with the agent span link as well. And the reason that I did that is because this agent is more than smart enough to be able to, as you can see here, do some web fetching and look at the website, look at the documentation as well, so that it can understand exactly how to do the install itself without me having to do pretty much anything else. Now from this, it put together a plan to complete everything. We can see here the plan that I put together in terms of how it was going to build this application and build all the agents as well. The only thing that it needed from me was going to be my Anthropic API key in order to be able to power these agents. Once this was done, it was practically good to go. It built out the entire HTML page right here, as well as both of the agents. It did try to get me to run some commands in order to boot up the system. I just told it, can you run this now yourself? And it was able to do that. And this app was running locally on my computer at this address, which I was able to click. And if I click this, it then opens it up in VS Code right here. Once that happened, it was now all booted up. You can see here, it just told me to install a new version of Java, which it installed itself. Then we could open this up and it was pretty much running and good to go. At this point, some of the chats were a little bit hard to read. So I just told it to update some of the readability. Nothing to do with agent span specifically or the agents themselves. This is just something about the application. But already at this stage, agent span is fully integrated into our agent. Because Because Claude Code is doing all the code itself, it looked through the documentation of Agent Span to understand literally everything that it needed to do to install this into our system. It was able to fully integrate it. At this point, I really don't have to do too much else. This agent right here is now going to have the fully persistent memory. It's fully integrated into Agent Span because it has the Claude Code integration. Because Claude Code is doing everything for us, it was able to look through the documentation, understand everything that was needed to be set up. It will also provide me with the link right here to the local host of Agent Span. And so that is the sort of top link here with the Agent Span local host link. Obviously, you'll need to test it and talk to your agent and see if it all populates properly through Agent Span. And if you do kill it, will it continue on? And if you were to reset the server here, will it continue on and have that memory stored somewhere for that conversation to continue? Now, obviously for a production environment, you wouldn't be running this locally on your computer. You would want this to be stored in the cloud somewhere on 2 separate servers for the Agent Span state, as well as the application that you're running here. Once again, this is just the demonstration that I'm using in terms of a deep research agent, but if you're doing any other long running workflow tasks or long running agent tasks, all of those tasks as well could make use of something like this, in which just stores that state separately in a way in which we're going to be able to retrieve it again and continue that conversation quite fluidly. Now, if you want to see 5 Claude skills I cannot live without that I use every single day in my Claude Code system right here, check out this video where I break down 5 of those Claude Code skills. So I'll keep pointing at it. It's a great video. You can click on it right